Sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Make sure your back is erect. We will be meditating 10 minutes. You need to have the name on your video, which is your name. You cannot have a name of another person. All right? So make sure that you have your name on your video and not somebody else's name. Okay, I'm also having my name on my video. So you also need to have your name on your video. Okay, that's much better. So make sure your back is erect. I word that Edward is not sitting in a meditation posture. And I do not see Nathan's legs, neither Tianmin's need to be visible. And Nguyen also is not visible properly. And Aunte is having naked knees. So that needs to be resolved right now, please. I'm waiting for that. So we'll be waiting 3 minutes or 5 minutes or longer. Things that need to be resolved during the 5 minutes when I come later, you see? So I'm waiting until these people are put into the breakout room. We do not want to press buttons and so on during meditation. So I have just now said the names, so we'll be repeating the names and probably saying some more. Nathan is not sitting in meditation posture, and Ko Nguyen is not visible in his camera properly. And okay, Aunte got finally his pants. But you're still having some difficulties. We do not want to resolve these things. You know, now it's about 9 months of this class and you're still resolving these basic things. Need to be resolved by the organizers. So I'm waiting for that. Okay, so let's sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Make sure your back is erect, side cast down, and we make the first determination in our minds listlessly from now on. For 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. I'll be like a statue. See if you could be so much like a statue that if somebody could see you, they would never recognize that you're a human. They would think that you're a statue. So that's what we want. And we can gently, lovingly notice there's a flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy. We continue to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head. We allow all of the muscles and sinews throughout the head to be heavy. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, we allow all of the muscles and sinews throughout the upper part of the body to be happy. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes, we allow all of the muscles and sinews throughout the body to be happy. And we enjoy this happiness. We allow the body to be the way it is. And we do not listen if it's itching or if we are interested in any other things around here and there. We don't care. We allow this body to calm down, to stay like a statue. You may adjust your back anytime. You can also close your eyes if they're painful. But otherwise, we don't make any movement. We keep the body still. And we enjoy this freedom. It is better. You cannot make a mistake. Nothing can be your fault if you don't move. So we enjoy this freedom. Freedom from worry about making a mistake. But there's a deeper level. Thanks to the calm in the body, we can now watch the mind. Let's see if there is at least a spark of peace. Whatever peace we are having, let's explore it. What is peace? Now let's share our peaceful experience with other living beings. May all beings, including me, be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. And we can take one more minute to enjoy the peace we gained in meditation. We curiously watch what's going on in the mind. All right, so everybody come closer to the camera and you can rate your meditation 0 to 10. 0 is the worst, 10 is the best. Whatever is your feeling about it, were you comfortable, uncomfortable, let me know. Okay, so today will be the last time that I'm showing you the Pali, the precepts from next week. If I don't forget it, I hope to go with you without the picture, without the paper. So everybody can unmute Keep your hands together at the chest. Yamahang padami tang vadetha. After 2 weeks, some of you have forgot what you were training 9 months. Let's try it again. Yamahang padami tang vadetha. No, I'm still not happy about it. So those who are not accurate, you will be only replying Ama Bhante. Nothing else. So let's try it one more. Yamahang vadami tang vadetha. Aham bhante. Saranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yachami. Anugraham katva. Silang dekha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Tutiyampi aham bhante. Saranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yachami. Anugraham katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Tatiyampi aham bhante. Saranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yachami. Anugraham katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammāsambuddhassa.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Sammāsambuddhassa.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammāsambuddhassa.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammāsambuddhassa.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammāsambuddhassa.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Sammāsambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, dhammam saranam gacchāmi, sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, dhammam saranam gacchāmi, sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Nguyện, when you are taking the precepts, if you take it seriously, you need to keep your hands together at the chest. Are you keeping them at the chest? Nguyện. Are you keeping? Okay, very good. Tutiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchāmi, dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Tutiyampi buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchāmi, dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchāmi.
I wonder whether the sound is coming from Nguyện. You have there some noise, right? Nguyện, you have there some noise, right? You can keep yourself muted. Wow, so much better. Okay, Evelyn, Evelyn, can you repeat after me? Evelyn will be repeating alone. Nobody else will be repeating. Only Evelyn. I want to hear Evelyn only. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. So Evelyn, I'm waiting for you. So Evelyn, you will have to settle somewhere and we can continue. You cannot be holding it. Evelyn, can you hear me? Evelyn, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Can you settle your device somewhere? Keep it on some table or somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay, that looks much better. So you can keep your hands together at the chest. Okay, and you can repeat after me. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Only Evelyn. I want to hear only Evelyn. No, I want to hear only Evelyn. Evelyn alone. I want to hear only Evelyn. So I'm listening. Evelyn, now it's your turn.
Dutiyampi sarana gacchami, dutiyampi dhamma sarana gacchami.
Okay, it actually starts with buddhang. All right, so you go dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, and only then you do dhamma, and then as the third one is sanghang. Can you see the text? Can you see the writing? Can you see the text, Evelyn? Evelyn is frozen. So let's continue. So let's continue, everybody. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Sarana-gamanang paripurnang So, Auntie, what is the first precept?
Oh, no killing, no killing, no killing.
No killing. Panati pata vera mani sikha padang samadhiyami. Harry, what is the second precept?
No killing.
No stealing, that's right. Adinna dana vera mani sikha padang samadhiyami. Janvi Nguyen, what is the third precept?
The third precept is no sexual misconduct.
Perfect. Kame sumichha jara vera mani sikha padang samadhiyami. Oh, Akari, what is the fourth precept? Akari, are you here? Akari Nai.
No sexual misconduct.
No, that's the third precept. What's the fourth precept?
Lying.
No telling lies. Perfect. Thank you. Musavada vera mani sikha padang samadhiyami. So, Sian, what is the fifth precept? The last one.
I'll help you in.
No killing.
The last precept, number 5.
No lying. No drugs.
No lying is not there. So what about Nguyen? Can you help Sian? What is the 5th precept? Number 5.
Go for a start.
Sure, but I want to
Nguyen. Nguyen. Can you unmute and tell us what is the last precept?
I'm gonna do YouTube.
I'm waiting for Nguyen. I'm waiting for Nguyen to unmute. Yes. What is the 5th precept?
No drinking alcohol or drugs. Right.
Perfect. Sian, can you tell us the 5th precept? No drinking alcohol and no taking drugs. What I heard from you, Sian, was that you said no lying and no taking drugs. No,
Wait, there's actually a game.
So it is actually alcohol and drugs. Why alcohol and drugs are together? Alcohol and drugs are together because they do similar thing. They remove your wisdom. Alcohol and drugs remove your wisdom, they remove your intelligence, they remove your mindfulness. But we want wisdom, we want intelligence, we want to be mindful. So do not drink alcohol, don't take drugs. Can you repeat after me? Sura Meraya. Majja. Madakana. Vera Manisikha Padang Samadhyami. Saranena Sadhin Panchasilang Dhammang Sadhukang Surakhitam Katva Appamadena Sampadeta. Whenever you come here and your camera is off, you need to remember to turn it on. If you forget to turn on your camera or it doesn't work, then within about 5-10 seconds, I may remove you very fast. So be also very fast to turn on your camera when you're coming. Very important for you. All right, so let's look at the story that we were looking at, the last piece, the last bit. So I'm not asking you about the childhood of the Buddha to be, the first childhood, but I'm asking you about the last point that we looked at last class. So that's 2 weeks ago. Let's see if you can remember. Anybody who can remember, please raise your hand. Okay, so Jekiwa, can you tell me, what do you remember from the very last lesson?
I don't remember some.
Tell us, what do you remember?
I remember about, like, we were doing the Buddha, like about the Buddha.
We were not talking about the Buddha. No, I disagree. So what about Kung Fu? Do you remember what we were talking about 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago?
See if you can remember without looking at the notes. You can close your book and tell us from your memory.
Okay. I don't remember everything.
Oh, you don't remember? Okay. So what about phone 9? Can you remember what we were talking about 2 weeks ago?
No.
Not at all? Phone 9, can you unmute yourself and tell us what we talked about 2 weeks ago?
We weren't here like 2 weeks ago.
You weren't here? Okay,
No.
but you surely watched the recording, right?
No, we didn't watch the recording.
I see. You need to watch the recording. Otherwise, it doesn't make much sense to come for the class. Okay? You're not doing homework, so watching the recording is of utmost importance.
Oh, we did do the homework though. We did.
There was no homework. So the only thing that you can do is to watch the recording.
Yeah, you did it too, but not for that week.
There is no homework these days. These days, you just need to come for the class. Okay, that you can resolve that later. Quan Kai, can you tell me, what did we talk about 2 weeks ago?
Is it about like a hermit guy? A guy is a hermit?
Yeah, about the hermit guy. That's also a way to say that. All right. So do you remember something about the hermit?
Like he know that the baby is Buddha to be, but he's sad because when the baby become a Buddha, he would be dead. So he told his niece or nephew thing. He told his nephew who go I don't
Very
remember.
well. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's very good, actually. Very good. You see, it's much better than some of the others that I asked. What about Vin Nguyen? Do you remember anything more than what Quan Khai said?
I think the hermit named Caladevila made a baby Buddha to be, and then he was sad because when the baby Buddha to be he was died. And he go to visit his nephew and talk to his nephew to a hermit.
So now hopefully everybody has realized that what Vin Nguyen said is basically the same thing that what Quan Khai said. Okay, so if I ask you, tell me what Quan Khai did not say yet, then repeating what Quan Khai said tells me one thing, that you didn't listen. So everybody pay attention, all right? Pay attention to what the others say so that you don't say the same thing and then get from me some amazing admonishment. Okay, so Jekiwa, what did we not hear yet today, but we spoke about it 2 weeks ago?
I think I remember about the hermit crab. I think that he was happy that the baby was gonna become a Buddha.
And that he was happy, yes.
And that I think he was gonna be born in a void full, like he couldn't hear the Buddha's teaching, which made him sad.
Void is a very interesting way how you understood it. It's not really void, because void is still material. You need to have some matter, something, in order that there is space. But if there's no thing, then there cannot be space as well. This is very difficult to understand. It's extremely difficult. But space is material. Whereas the world where the hermit Kaladevila would be born, actually it has no matter at all, only mind. So saying that it's void is not that accurate. Okay, it's definitely close, but it's not accurate. All right. So Kaladevila, the great hermit, would be born in a special world without matter. And because the teachings is spread through matter, he would not be able to accept that, to receive that teaching. Well said. Thank you very much. Alex, what else did we not talk about yet today? But we talked about it 2 weeks ago. Cherry, you have Zoom hand, right? You need to raise your Zoom hand. Alex, I'm listening to Alex.
The hermit like meditated in the heaven, and then he went to see the baby. And instead of respecting the hermit, put his feet on the hermit's head.
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much. Cherry?
So after the hermit like told his nephew to become like a follower of the Buddha, when he becomes the Buddha, so he could learn them too. When I don't remember much, but that's all I remember.
Okay. So Robert, can you tell us what is still missing?
Sorry, I'm on my phone. So, before the hermit, I think I'm pronouncing this right, Kaladeva. I think I pronounced that correct. I hope. He was just meditating, and after getting his food and meditating, he heard deities in the heavens rejoicing over the Buddha to be's birth. So he went to the king, and he was trying to get the baby to pay respect to him, but he didn't. He put his feet on his hair. So both the king and the hermit paid respects to the baby Buddha to be, and the hermit got sad because he knew he wouldn't be able to see the Buddha to be or hear the Buddha to be's teachings, as he would be born in a world of no matter, no sound, no hearing. So he went to his nephew and asked him to become a recluse to be able to one day, when the Buddha to be becomes enlightened, listen to the Buddha's teachings to get out of this world of suffering.
Very well. Thank you very much. So let's continue in the story. So now let's name the Buddha to be. On the 5th day after the birth of the Buddha to be, the king held a very special ceremony based on their ancient religion called Brahmanism. Today it's known as Hinduism. And so he prepared his palace to be very beautiful and fragrant for the very special ceremony of naming the child. That means deciding what will be the child's name. Usually in the West, people name their child even before it's born. Whereas in the East, in Asia, you would usually name your child after the child is born. And naming after the birth is actually a custom coming to far, far ago. So long, long ago. So in the Buddha's time also, usually the name would be given after the child would be born. Until the child gets a name, how do you call your child? because the child has no name. And so I asked the Burmese people in Myanmar, so how do you call your child if the child has no name? And they said, well, we call it my child. Yeah, and that's it. Very easy, right? So 8 learned Brahmins. So the Buddha invited, the king invited 8 Brahmins who knew very well the scriptures, the books of Brahmanism, but at those times it was not in books, it was just memorized. People just remembered it. Like you would remember songs, they remembered whole books. Okay? And you do not need to have a song written down somewhere. Of course, today people write down song lyrics, but just like you can share with each other, you know, the song lyrics, the words of the song, without reading or writing anything. In those times, they would share whole books. So they did not write down the teachings of Hinduism. Instead, they would just memorize it from each other. And so these Brahmins, they were very accomplished in the teachings, and the king gave them nice seats and provided them with a delicious meal. After they finished their meal, the king paid them respect, and out of 108 Brahmins, so they were actually 108 Brahmins, look at that, 108 Brahmins. So out of these 108 Brahmins, 8 of the Brahmins were selected to check the Buddha to be's body for special marks, for special things on his body, like birthmarks or special shapes or special lengths of certain limbs or parts of the body, and so on. So among the 8 selected Brahmins, the 7, Rama, Dhaja, Lakkana, Jyotimanta, Yanya, Subhoja, and Suyama, they concluded that indeed this child will either become the king of the world or he will become the Buddha. But the number 8 Brahmin, the 8th Brahmin, he suggested only one thing that can happen with this child, and that is that this child will be a Buddha. There is no reason for the princess remaining in household life. He will certainly become a Buddha who breaks open the roof of defilements. So what is this? Breaks open the roof of defilements. This is very deep. Break open the roof of defilements. So let's unpack this. Defilement. Defilements means dirt. Okay? When, for example, you use your plate and you finish your food, the plate is defiled. It is dirty. Okay? Or when you touch the wall instead of the switch to turn on, turn off the light, after some time, the wall is defiled. It is dirty. Okay? But we usually do not use this word defiled for things. We use it for the mind. Okay? And the mind is dirty. How is the mind dirty? By greed. Okay? By wanting more and more and more and more. The mind is dirty by anger, by wishing other person to suffer, to have pain. Well, that's pretty dirty, isn't it? And by delusion. Okay, delusion. Delusion is, for example, that you have your book in your school bag, but you think that it is somewhere else. So you go around your home and you search, oh, where is my book? Where is my book? I don't have my book. I don't have my book. I need my book. But you already have it in the bag. Or the other way, you think that you have it in your bag, but you forgot it at home. That is delusion. All right? Thinking something or doing something, that's not correct. So, defilement. So, if the Buddha becomes a Buddha, if somebody becomes a Buddha, they break open the roof of the defilement. So how do you break open the roof of greed, anger, and delusion? You break it open through understanding that there is no me. No me, no you, not at all. Just conditions and consequences. Just reasons and results. And so an enlightened person understands that. So if you don't understand it, it doesn't matter. I'm not expecting that you're already enlightened. But an enlightened person understands that everything are just the causes, the reasons, and the results, the consequences. And so there is no me, no you. Things just happen the way they have to happen. But of course, that's only in the ultimate level. That's in the very deep, deep, deep level. In the practical level, however, we are, okay? I am, you are, and we are all responsible for all our good and bad actions. So you possibly did not understand. If you didn't understand, doesn't matter at all. As the time goes, you will understand more and more. So let's make a big, big jump. And that is jump in the book, but not jump in the time. And we are continuing to look at the naming of the Buddha to be. So in this way, having examined the Buddha to be's major and minor marks, that means very clear and not so very clear things on his body or appearance of his body, these 8 Brahmins decided the prince will become a Buddha. After discussing among themselves this matter of naming the prince, they gave him the name Siddhartha. So this is a name that is worthy of remembering. Siddhartha. S-I-D-D-H. Okay. S-I-D-D-H-A. Siddha. T-T-H-A. You see? It should not be so difficult. It's just S-I. And then you have D-D-H-A. T-T-H-A. Siddhartha. All right? So Siddhartha is the name of the young boy who's going to become a Buddha. And so why did they call him Siddhartha? What does that mean? So it means that he would successfully accomplish his task. He will successfully accomplish his purpose. Siddha means to accomplish. Attha means the purpose, the one who will accomplish his purpose. For millions and millions of lives, he had one purpose: to become a Buddha. And this is his last life. In this very last life, he will accomplish his purpose, for which he worked so hard for millions and millions of lives. What's that purpose? To become a Buddha and to help many others to become free from the defilement. Okay, from the defilement. Okay, so that's why he is called Siddhartha, because he fulfills his purpose. Okay, so now we'll be talking about these 5 gentlemen. So we get here 5 gentlemen who became ascetics. At the time of the birth of the Buddha to be, out of the learned Brahmins who were selected, you remember, there were 8 Brahmins who were supposed to decide the future of the Buddha to be. Well, decide, to reveal the future of the Buddha to be. 5 of them that were led by... Something's not right. Okay, we're better. So 5 out of these 8 decided the prince will surely become the Buddha. Okay, So it seems that first it was like 7 and 1, and then it became like 5 and 3, whatever. And so 5 of these decided he will surely become the Buddha, and they were so sure that they decided to become monks right away. They were so sure that this little baby will become the great Buddha, the Lord of all of the universe, not all, but 36, I think 360,000 universes, whatever. So a Lord of large space. And they therefore decided to become ascetics. They decided to go to the forest and stay there alone or together, eating little, sleeping little, wearing a little bit of clothes, and wait until this little baby becomes the great Buddha. So they said the prince would certainly become Buddha. That great man, the Buddha to be, will not remain in a household life. So he will definitely attain Buddhahood. We will not be able to cut off the tangles of our families when we get married. So by that time, they still were not married. So they decided to become ascetics. They go to the forest before they get married, so that if they are married, it will be difficult. They may have a child and wife, and they may be too much in love with their wife, or at least with their child, and it would be difficult for them to. So weird. So it would be very difficult for them to go to the forest. So they decided to go to the forest before they could have a wife and a child. And so they went to the forest, and they were waiting for the Buddha to be. Now the people sometimes were approached. So sometimes these new 5 hermits approached the lay people, and they asked them, you know what, friends, has this little prince become already the Buddha? What do you think about it? Is he enjoying the luxury, or and watch many female dancers, many lady dancers, many girls? Or is he now thinking about going to the forest and staying alone and meditating? And so the people said, no, not at all. The wisdom of the prince is not mature yet. It is not ready yet. Okay? So the prince is still enjoying a lot of pleasure. So out of the 8 learned Brahmins, 7 lived until they were very old. But they died. And they were born.
What?
They were born in heaven or in hell based on what they did during their life. However, Kondanya survived. So when the Buddha became a man, when he became adult and mature, and he was going to become a hermit also, then so Kondanya found out, I see, that the Buddha has become a recluse, and he went to the sons of those Brahmins who died, and he said, oh dear sirs, now the prince has become a hermit, so what about if you go and become hermits? What about if you go and become monks? All right. So those who were waiting for the Buddha to be, they were actually dead because the Buddha to be needed a little more time. But at least they already had some children, it seems. Somehow, hard to tell how and why. But anyway, they had some children, and their children therefore became the hermits, and they then met with the Buddha to be. So only the 4 remaining, what's that? only the remaining 4 agreed and became recluses with Kondanya as their leaders. So as you can see, only 4 out of the 8 Brahmins decided to become recluses. Maybe you remember that we were talking about the ascetic Kaladevila's nephew who became an ascetic, but he visited the Buddha a little later. So these are different things. These 5 Brahmins and that nephew of the great hermit Kaladevila are different things. Okay, so the Buddha to be first stayed with these 5 Brahmins, and only later he met with the nephew of Kaladevila. Okay, that is more than enough for today. So we will be writing some little note. Those who want to go to sleep, please go to sleep. And those who want to go to bathroom as well, you can go to sleep. But if you have some more time, you can start writing the note. Today is November 25, 2023 in Vietnam and Myanmar. But today, I think we do not have Ferry, right? He didn't come today. And then we have November 24, 2023 in the USA and Jamaica. So this will be the naming ceremony. Okay, so you can start writing the date and the heading. Notes are coming soon. All right, today it's not so much. Just these 2 things. So as soon as you finish, raise your hand. right. And that's all for today. You see, it's pretty simple. Hopefully you'll remember something until the next week. So I would like to ask Tutam to stay here with the others until they finish their notes. Thank you everybody very much. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Thank you very much, Bhante. Everyone, please unmute. Can you put your hand at your chest? And together we say goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Goodbye,
Venerable.